We're going to do a little fun video here talking about all of the Lunalight Orcust variants that have seen some sort of success, at least from my perspective, that are really worth talking about at this point in time. Because, you know, going forward, it's kind of interesting to see what you can mash together for the infinite any two monsters is 4 Orcust combo, the deck. And I will say, Yu-Gi-Oh! Never seems to let me down in terms of the spiciness that we can bring to the table. So let's dig on into this discussion, shall we? Alright, so the first variant that we all should be probably the most familiar with is the Lunalight version. And this has been the most consistent version of the hybrids for a while, and it goes to show that when you can just slap an OTK engine in a deck, it really goes things. So this deck's strong suits: 1, as a thought, jamming your opponent from being able to respond to your effects. Great! Being able to make Boral Sword Dragon and OTK your opponent. Great! Having not once per turn clauses on your cards. Excellent! Honestly, I've joked and joked and joked and joked, but the reality of the situation is, like Trickster Light Stage getting hit because of Orcust in the past, I could actually see something happening to the Lunalight engine because of that, but we've brought that up enough. So, OTK factor, as a thought, jamming. What is not to like about this deck? There were also earlier versions of this deck that were playing your package of the Lunalight fusions, if you actually wanted to, you know, tech them in. You have legroom to do it. Now, by modern standards, you might be hurting your consistency with that, but if you're going to a regional, and this is something that you want to approach, you can do it, and it works out relatively well. You just have to know at what point to OTK, and, you know, really hope for the best. So, Lunalight Orcust doing just that. Once again, thanks for not having once per turn clauses on the Lunalight cards. Some of them. Other ones do have once per turn clauses, but I digress. But if you want to beat the deck, Gnome Material's looking really good right now. That's a little spicy advice right there. Gnome Material doing a lot of work for this format, like, yikes. So, there's that. Now, up in terms of other developments, we have the Cyber Dragon Orcust variant. Now, we've seen more Cyber Dragon Orcust coming out of this YCS this past weekend than we have really any other time. Most of the time, we will see 1 to 2 Cyber Dragon Orcust in Top Cut. And then, you know, of course, Pure having the highest representation, usually. But the thing that makes Cyber Dragon Orcust so darn good is the fact that Special Summon Cyber Dragon, contact fuse out with your Dingrisu that is located in the extra monster zone. Proceed to OTK. It's almost like these versions of these decks look to OTK your opponent. Starting to see a common theme here between these. Also, the Cyber Dragon package, depending on what you're playing, you get access to Machine Dupe. By the way, Machine Dupe pretty much turns all of you guys into additional copies of Cyber Dragon, which feels great. Naxter and Company is always crazy. Nova and Infinity for additional negates. The frustration I feel when looking at this deck. So, break a board, check. Control factor through Infinity, check. OTK factor, I think I already said that, but yeah, there's not a lot to say about the Cyber Dragon Orcust variant. You just opt for second every single game that you can, and hope for the best. If your opponent makes you go first, you're making Infinity with Crescendo backing it up, and that's probably your well, it's not your strongest board. I've seen some shenanigans that you can do with opening up the Machine Dupe. Depends. Did you open up optimal or amazing or subpar? Like, depends on your skill tree that you're going down for that game. So, I guess you pick your poison. Now, the lesser known of the evils here is actually the Myrrhmill Orcust variant. And this deck has had a little bit of success for it. Not on a YCS level. I've seen some spicy lists come across my desk from certain regionals. And looking at how this deck wants to function, you're still doing the same thing that all the other variants are doing, but you have a very strong going first play. What happens when Neptibus wants to start feeding from Molin Glacias? Well, let Daddy tell you about getting 2 cards ripped out of your hand with full Orcust combo behind it. It's really freaking good. Alright, now, the big downside to this, so with your strongest board being the Molin Glacia, you know, full combo, you kind of start going into a spiral of depression when your Molin Glacia gets added. Molin Glacia's, you don't get a battle phase effect, can be really detrimental to this deck. For as much as I've seen my friend playing this variant, going after the Molin Glacia just literally diminishes the entire combo, and it's actually kind of sad, because in terms of functionality and things like that, that's the weak point. You go there. The other 2 variants don't really have a weak point. I mean, once again, no material on Azathoth, and then, you know, Cyber Dragon variant, I guess, no material. The Mega Fleet, when it goes into the extra monster, I guess that puts you in a good position. But outside of that, like, Myrrhmill, Orcust, hi Molin, I'm really glad that you stopped battle phases. You can rip 2 cards out of my hand, but I'm going to stop you from getting your battle phase. That's what really feels good out here. So those are the 3 biggest variants that I can think of. And then we have ye old Thunder Dragon Orcust. Now, the thing about Thunder Orcust in terms of the way that it's going right now, so you basically have all of your Thunder Dragon cards. You are able to do everything that you standardly want to do with Thunder. You have Colossuses. I don't know how many Titans you're playing if you're going down the Titan package. I do know that you're a little bit more of a splice engine in terms of things. Also, you got the 60 card versions out there of this. I've seen some really spicy 60 card Thunder Orcust list. And of course, you're teching in the Sky Striker package, because why wouldn't you? Because, you know, engages Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones is full Orcust combo. Like, literally, that into Kagari, you know, Hornet Drones back, full Orcust combo. We did it! Yay! It's amazing how that actually works and is consistent. But in terms of how the format is going, okay, cool. Thunder Dragon Orcust, whether or not it's the 40 card variant, I think I've seen 42, 60. What are your numbers? What are you packing in to make this? Because those spliceable card choices are the thing that I think probably makes this version a little bit more interesting. And I don't mean to take that away from the other 3 variants, because like Lunalight Orcust and Cyber Dragon, you don't get a lot of leeway in there. And then even in the Myrrhmill build, like, there's only so much you can actually kind of pack around in there. So in terms of things like that, I don't know. So moving on to the last big thing here, the everything else. Okay, so Pure still holds highest numbers usually. In terms of just what it does, you've got the 10-Yi build, the 10-Yi-less build, Scrap Recycler and Company. It's probably still the best single variant out there. Now, there was an Evil Eye variant that just came across the YCS this weekend, and I'm intrigued by this. It looks like it's like 48 cards. It's 60 cards. Alright, so you've got crazy Evil Eye support in there. Cerziel doing what Cerziel does, engaging and popping cards, with an artifact engine backing it up. Really? This is the development that we've gone through. You've got the Sky Striker package, because, you know, like I said, Hornet Drones, every variant usually is approaching that to some degree, because why not? It's consistent. You get to do it. Like, it's the backbone to, I think, all of these decks. But looking at the Orcust package as a whole, I've seen Blackwing Orcust. It's probably the more interesting one. A Grand Manju Orcust, by the way. That was a thing. That was interesting. Full combo off Grand Manju. You have the Crescendo backing up the Grand Manju. I didn't say it was good, but I've seen it, alright? Like, that's how consistent this package actually is in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! You can literally do anything with it. So, I'm looking forward to seeing if anything happens to this come next list, and what actually happens. Well, that's the most interesting of the Orcust packages you can even really play today's format. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and well, catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.
The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.